thing literally just my screen froze and took me back to homepage. So I have to do the whole freaking thing over again, bro. This is what I do for you guys. I will normally just do it tomorrow, but since I'm like so nice, I'm doing it again. Take 2. Summary. One of the Kaguya members left the clan and ran to the Whirlpool country and settled down. And guess who that was? That was Naruto's mother's grandfather. And so Kushina will be quarter Kaguya and half Uzumaki. But for some reason, she couldn't awaken the Kaguya bloodline. But she got chakra chained. You already know. As you already know if you know Naruto. You know what I'm saying? Well, 12 years later, Naruto Uzumaki's running. He is confused. Does Iruka think I'm a demon looking downtrodden? And then he hears Iruka says, Naruto Uzumaki is not a demon. He is the lower shinobi of the leaf. And Naruto smiles with teary eyes, happy Iruka believes in him. Then Mizuki looks at Iruka in disgust. Then you will die with the demon too. Then Iruka glares back, smiling. And then Mizuki smirks, you're nothing but a demon lover. So die! Getting ready to throw his weapon. But Naruto comes out of nowhere with a kick to the face, sending Mizuki back. As Mizuki gets up, Naruto says, I won't let you hurt Iruka sensei. And so then a evil pressure hits them all, and vile chakra explodes from Naruto. And the third Hokage looks in fear. The seal is escaping, but sees there's no Nine Tails coming out. And then he thinks the fourth must have made it so that the seal can that his child can that he can use the Nine Tails power. And then Hiruzen looks in shock, but then he thinks the fourth Hokage was a genius even when he was dying, smiling. Then Naruto points his hand forward, and then Mizuki looks at fear at the Nine Tails chakra, and even Iruka's a little scared too. Who would it be? Then Naruto unconsciously says, Shikomayatsu, dance of the firms. And then bones start coming out from the ground. Using the Nine Tails chakra, the whole side of Mizuki's side of the forest get, like, brains up with the bones and stuff. Then as Naruto falls into the unconsciousness, Mizuki is running from the bones of sharp bones sprouting out from the ground. But Mizuki's tired. So he gets caught up by all these bones and passes away. As Iruka looks in shock and awe at the power that Naruto showed in that fight. So then Iruka looks down at Naruto to see 2 red dots on his forehead. And Lord Third looks in awe. He thinks Kushina must have been part Kaguya. And he heard stories that a Kaguya went to the Uzumaki village. But he never thought that Kushina of all would be the descendant of a Kaguya blood. Then he thinks, but I can't allow him to know that he has a bloodline like that. Maybe he'll just forget. And so, he nods, thinking that he'll forget. Iruka smiles down at Naruto and putting his headband on him. And he smiles, you might just become Hokage. And then they will cover up that Iruka killed Mizuki, not to give Naruto any credit or anything, or to make the citizens fear him even more. And so, one day later, Naruto wakes up as he gets released, and Hiruzen, well, tells his elders that he's not going to tell Naruto about his bloodline, and Danzo cries outrage. He says, "You should be helping him. If anything, you should have him be training with my guy's team. You should have him actually go to Asuma's team instead of that Choji guy, that Cho, Choji Yakamichi." He says. Then he says you should have him train. Heck, you can have Hey Jekko train him, but no, Hiruzen, you have you you ignore his blood. You and then he turns away and he says, "I I bet Lord Fourth is rolling in his grave." And so then Hiruzen stands up. Minato would have done the same thing. He can't handle all that power. He'll turn evil. And so then Danzo says, "Oh, and your precious Uchiha won't? Sasuke Uchiha won't turn evil?" No, we don't know that. And if anything, Naruto Uzumaki is the most loyal shinobi in the leaf. He loves this village. And so then he says, although I although he needs to become a weapon, I know he's loyal. That's what I do know. And the elders, not knowing that the boy is very loyal to the village, that he loves it. And Hiruzo says we can't allow him to have that much power. And so then Danzo walks away with the elders. Then as they walk away, Danzo says to one of his Anbu, "Go watch Naruto and Uzumaki. Give him this letter through a window. Tell him about his inheritance. His heritage." Yeah. Then Naruto wakes up, but then hears flapping paper through his window, landing on his bed as the Anbu watches in the corner. Naruto opens and then sees Naruto Uzumaki. "I can't tell you who I am, but I can tell you this. You are part of a clan," and Naruto looks with widened eyes. "You're part of two clans, in fact. I'll tell you about both of them. You're part of the Uzumaki clan and the Kaguya clan. You see, this clan, per se, they're very elite members, and one of them, the bloodline you have, is the Kaguya. You can make bones that can be up to strong as steel to attack your opponents with, as a taijutsu that they use specially. It's called Shikamayatsu. And you it shows that you're part of the clan by the two red dots on your forehead. And Naruto shouts, "So I have a cool bloodline like Sasubaka," and smiles, and then looks at the letter. And so then he says, "But there are risks to this power. If you don't know how to handle it, you could hurt yourself with your own power." Naruto nods, knowing that there's risk to everything, basically. And so Nar and so then Naruto looks at his hand as bones sprout out from it and thinks it's cool, like anybody would. And so then he goes home. As he reads walking out, he also gets told to go to the Shinobi store to learn more about his power. So yeah, he'll learn more about his power, which will be great for him. You know? You know. Next day. Naruto wakes up with a smile, going to the Shinobi store and sees a man smiling as he walks in. And so then, well, and so then he sees a taijutsu book in the taijutsu section, and the man walks up. This is a mix of the Kaguya clan and the Namikaze family fighting style. And Naruto looks excited. The fourth Hokage's family, I want it. And the man smiles. Yeah, people have tried to style but never could master it. But good luck, kid. Looking at Naruto, but then widening his eyes, but then calming, thinking he's a Kaguya. And so then he thinks, is this Minato's kid? And so then like Naruto seeing his facial expression, blushing. Yeah, I'm a Kaguya. He smiles, rubbing the back of his head. And so then Naruto says, "I'll take it." And then the man hands him some clothes and says, "You need loose clothing to use your power greatly." And so Naruto nods. So thinking, I'm going to get stronger. And so then he goes to the training area. And so then he opens up his scroll and then starts practicing the moves using the longest bone in his body as a way to like well do his like training katas with. And Hiruzen is discussing with the Jonin about the squads. And so then Hiruzen says Danzo wants Naruto to learn about his clan bloodline, but I can't allow that. And so then he says, Danzo suggested him to be on Team Asuma, but I won't allow that. Smiling, and Asuma says, "What's his bloodline?" curiously, and he says, "It's the Kaguya bloodline." And Asuma eyes widen. The Kaguya bloodline, father, you can't ignore this. And Hiruzen says, "It's vital for the Kaibi Jinchuriki not to be too powerful." And so then the Jonins look at Hiruzen like, really? And so except for Kurenai, of course. It's Kurenai. I don't think Kurenai even likes Naruto, to be honest. But anyways, my guy says we should nourish the young boy's bloodline instead of taking it away. And so then Hiruzen says no, and that's final. And so, yeah. And so then Hiruzen smiles. Let's see what Naruto is doing. And so Hiruzen eyes widen as he sees like Naruto doing taijutsu katas or with his Kekkei Genkai. And Hiruzen scowls, clenching his fist. Danzo. So then, while Naruto screams, "That's about yo! This is so fun!" as he's swinging his, sword away, doing the taijutsu katas. And so, while this is happening, Hiruzen has Naruto go, like, just watching him, basically, and thinks, what can I do? And just put aside some of the Kakashi scene. And so, 1 week later, Naruto gets his picture, but it's a more serious and goofy way, 1 week later. Naruto sits down at the academy waiting for his teams, and he's thinking, what is he gonna get out? Like, what's he gonna, like, train with his Kekkei Genkai? And then Kiba says, "Naruto, what are you doing here?" And he smiles, "I'm here because I'm a ninja," pointing to his headband. And then Kiba scoffs, walking away. And then says, "I guess they just let anybody become a ninja." And Naruto says, getting angry, "They just let anybody become a ninja, huh?" And then he says, "Well, at least I have a true KK Genkai and not just walk around with that stupid mutt." And then Kiba turns on outrage. You don't you don't even have a family. So how you gonna have a KK Genkai? Then Naruto gets angry, saying, "How dare." Then he says, "I do have a KK Genkai." Then he takes from his collarbone a huge, long 20-foot sword, and people look in awe and look at him like he's a psychopath, seeing as he just took his collarbone out. And so then he slices the desk in half, and people look in awe. And then he moves and watching with the Joni, look in awe. The slice is looks like an actual swordsman cut. And so they are amazed at the power of Naruto already with his taijutsu skills. And as Iruka walks in, everybody shuts up and goes to their seat. All of them thinking, since when did he have a KK Genkai? And so then the rest goes at the same until Kakashi. Well, they would ask Naruto about his bloodline, and like Naruto would probably tell them it's a secret. Put up his pinky finger or something like that. That's what they would say. And so then Naruto gets asked what's his dreams and goals, and Naruto says, "I like ramen, learning about my clans, and training. I hate people who doubt me," and says, "and Sasubaka." He yells, showing no sign, but which Sasuke shows no sign of acknowledgement. And then he says, "My goal is to rebuild my clan and become Hokage." And Kakashi nods. And the and it goes the same till the bell test. Then when it starts, Naruto runs at Kakashi Sensei, but has two bone swords in his hand. Then Sasuke and Sakura watches, seeing as they read about his clan and thinks this clan is very strong. It's a very strong clan. And it's said that this clan is like Sasuke's, but related to the myth of the Sage of the Six Paths, but the mother of the Sage, knowing as, I don't know, like, I don't know what they would call her. But anyways, yeah. And so Naruto, he runs at Kakashi, slicing and dashing. But little does Kakashi knows that's not the real Naruto. The real one's hiding. And so then, Kakashi has to put his book up, dodging out away from the slices coming at him. And so then he tries to get behind the Naruto, disappearing. And so that clone looks where is he? So then Kakashi says, "See, secret Kenjutsu or Taijutsu, 1,000 whatever," sticking his finger up the clone's butt. But then it poofs. So then 20 clones pop out from the bushes. They all yelling. This is the beginner move of his Taijutsu, of saying, "Dance of the Whirlpool." It's beginner, but it's very lethal, doing high speed spins, and Kakashi thinks he's easily mid tuning level with this taijutsu. And so Kakashi has to dodge and kick away clones, and then he grabs one of the clones' arms and throws him into the crowd, making a big poof. Then Naruto takes out another bone, then puts one where his mouth is. Then he thinks three sword style. Yes, Naruto will be doing some three sword style stuff because I want to. Who said I can't? It's only because I'm beginning to start watching One Piece. You already know, but still, I don't care. And so Kakashi has to dodge out the way, but gets nicked on his coat and knees. But he thinks, but then he disappears, thinking, I know a few Chunin who can't take that. And so the rest goes the same, with Sasuke and Sakura learning more about Naruto's new clan. And so, I'm gonna do the Lane the Waves will be too long probably because this will be a part one. So part one to this. Wait, actually, is that it? Oh yeah, Naruto trains the same basically, learning a few more moves about it, and Hiruzen and Kakashi watches Naruto with a close eye, and Sasuke, uh, he acts the same, thinking that Naruto's bloodline isn't anything special to Uchiha standards, and when he awakens his Sharingan, he'll just be able to predict Naruto's moves, basically. And so, yeah, um, that's practically it. So, see you guys later, and goodbye.